As we sit in these keynotes and attend these sessions as analysts, we're hearing a lot of the same messages from other vendors. What would you say specifically around differentiation from them? I'm thinking specifically in the AI factory space.
Right. I mean, so, you heard a lot of the things that Arthur was saying earlier today, and just from a market standpoint, I think it's pretty clear we're leading the market, right? and if I step back and think about the fundamental capabilities we built in engineering, innovation, our supply chain, our services, our financing, customer relationships, all those things come together. And I would say it's not one thing, it's a whole series of things, and it's kind of a game of inches. And how fast can we innovate? How rapidly can we comprehend the new customer requirements and turn them into features and capabilities? And the speed at which our development teams are operating now is quite different than it was even 6 months or 9 months ago. Arthur?
Yeah, I think what have we learned over the last several years? Building very strong capabilities, really understanding customer requirements. We have unique insights because we're not delivering a specific portion of the infrastructure, right? We're involved in the compute, we're involved in the network, we're involved in the storage, we're involved in the data management, we're involved in the ecosystem, we're involved in the services. So we know how the solution ought to work. Many of the customers don't know how the solution ought to work. And so they look at us as more of a trusted advisor. When we get into these AI factory conversations, we're not getting a fully fleshed RFP that says, hey, this is what I'm looking for, here's the outcome, here's how I want it all to work. We're getting a very generic RFI, like, hey, I need to talk about what workloads should I be thinking about, what ROI should I be thinking about, what does my data strategy need to look like? And then only then do they start having architectural conversation, and only then do they start having very specific infrastructure conversations. So the ability to really understand how the workload should operate, how it's going to operate in the future, because again, the relationships that we have with the frontier models, we're able to understand not only how does a workload look today, but how is it going to evolve over time. And so being able to put something together like an AI factory, and there's all kinds of iterations of what an AI factory looked like. I talked about what we've done with Sandix, what we've done with HRT, any of the other 5,000 customers that we have. These are very unique conversations that I don't think many companies are capable of having because they just haven't built that capability that we have.
I can't resist the question. So since Mike Ingens sat on the stage a little over 2.5 years ago and announced the Dell AI factory, every one of our competitors has copied it. Spot on. And what differentiates us is the same things that we talked about at that time. A retooled R&D engineering organization that went from a classic long length ability to put new technology with place to now being able to deploy the leading edge technology, custom designs, multiple iterations, and putting it in a customer's data center in 90 days. Coupled with the ability of a global service organization that's unmatched in the industry, our global service footprint, our deployment capabilities, and the additional AI capabilities we've built around services. We've taken forward deployed engineers. We've created a new sales model. We treat the customers very differently with those forward deployed engineers to do everything that Arthur just described. You take our financing capability that goes along with that. And then I like to think our supply chain is better than anybody else's. And in this world of challenged supply today, I'll put our supply chain up against anybody else's in taking care of our customers. I think that's what differentiates us.